I want to call this the curious case of Angel Reese, and we're going to set it up with this clip after the LSU loss to Iowa in the Elite Eight.
I don't really get to stand up for myself. I mean, I have great teammates. I have a great support system. I got my hometown. I got my family that stands up for me. I don't really get to speak out on things just because I just try to ignore, and I just try to stand strong. Like, I've been through so much. I've seen so much. I've been attacked so many times. Death threats. I've been sexualized. I've been threatened. I've been so many things, and I've stood strong every single time. And I just try to stand strong for my teammates because I don't want them to see me down and like not be there for them. So I just want them to always just know, like, I'm still a human. Like, all this has happened since I won the national championship, and I said the other day I haven't had peace since then. And it sucks, but I still wouldn't change. I wouldn't change anything, and I would still sit here and say, like, I'm unapologetically me. I'm going to always leave that mark and be who I am and stand on that. And hopefully the little girls that look up to me, and hopefully I give them some type of inspiration that, no, hopefully it's not this hard and all the things that come at you, but keep being who you are. Keep waking up every day. Keep being motivated, staying who you are, staying 10 toes, don't back down, and just be confident.
In a weird way, for all intents and purposes, that clip kind of represents how I've always looked at Angel Reese, a 21-year-old girl who, from the moment she hit the national spotlight, was incredibly self-aware of everything going on around her, put on a brave face, but behind closed doors, this shit has to get to you. We just so happen to see it on stage. And also operates with a level of maturity that is rare for someone that age, as far as the way she deals with social issues, dealing with her own brand, things of that nature, right? And most importantly, really fucking good at basketball. None of this matters if she wasn't good at basketball. And I feel like we could acknowledge and be proud of that maturity at such a young age, but at the same time, feel a deep level of sorrow of the circumstances that caused her to mature so fast. Again, nuance. Although she is more successful at 20 to 21 than most people will be in 8 of her lifetimes, she deals with a level of scrutiny and vitriol, as she said in that clip, that most of us couldn't imagine and we would crumble under. At some point, that has to get to you, 21-year-old girl or not. I didn't need to see her crying at the press conference to know that at some level this has to affect her. And I know I keep calling her a girl. I mean no disrespect by it. I have a little sister who's around her age, so anyone 21-ish and under, I don't consider an adult. Also, I'm a man of science. I used to have my biology bachelor's behind me, but that's a little too pretentious. But there is no biological evidence that turning 18 or turning 21 makes you an adult. There's none. The closest we have is at the age of 25 when the frontal lobe of your brain fully develops, and that's the part of your brain that controls decision making. So anyone below the age of 25, I don't expect you to make good decisions. I just don't. I can already hear the counterpoint, which is, oh, so 18's old enough to go fight overseas. You see how two things can be wrong? We shouldn't be sending 18-year-olds to be in the military either. That is also wrong. Again, nuance. Nuance is the word of the episode. Nuance. In the past year of 20 to 21-year-old Angel Reese's life, she had the 4-game suspension at LSU, which we still don't know why the hell that happened. The president of one of the largest sports media companies on the planet calling her a quote-unquote classless piece of shit. It's still fuck you, Dave Portnoy. Throw in the death threats, straight up rape comments that she gets on a daily basis, trolling accounts, having to answer for her head coach's bullshit. Pile on that on top of also having to be an all-American level basketball player. Yeah, that could be a lot. To quote Fly J. Johnson, the crown she wears, quite heavy. People were coming at her for the LSU scuffle with South Carolina, which she wasn't a part of. She was walking to the bench as it was happening. Matter of fact, walking is a little too extreme. She was hobbling to the bench because she hurt her ankle again. And I know, she has all the bravado in public and all the trash talk in public and blah, blah, blah. As if we haven't seen this a million times before. I'm gonna get dark here in 3, 2, 1. The genie from Aladdin killed himself. Robin Williams offed himself. I don't know what more do you need to know that the public facing image of what people are dealing with behind closed doors usually do not line up. In a prior video I made before the tournament titled Mansplaining Caitlin Clark and Women's Basketball, the thumbnail literally says, with growth comes stupidity. I bring that up not to be self-promotional, even though that video is fire. You should go watch it like all my other videos. Like, subscribe, blah, 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 blah. But I was outlining and kind of predicting that as the women's game continues to grow, we're going to get a lot more dumbass discourse like the way that the rest of sports discourse is. One, I was absolutely correct. And two, the part I left out and I've been kicking myself for ever since was not accounting for these fucking incel trolls that have overpopulated modern sports discourse, specifically on social media, that can hide behind these faceless accounts with these paid for blue checks and hurl the most sexist, racist, homophobic, you name it comments at star athletes. And now they get to aim it at a group of people they already don't rock with, which is women. Add in intersectionality with Angel being a black woman, a confident black woman at that, who is excellent at her craft and will let you know about it. This is like poison in an incel's mouth because she represents everything they can't be because they hate themselves. If not, why would they hide behind faceless accounts and do nothing but tear down other people? And to make matters worse, you got bootlicking coons like Emmanuel Acho going on Fox Sports and also calling her crazy things the moment she shows the slightest bit of vulnerability. I wish I could end this with some type of solution for Angel Reese or discourse in sports in general. But if I had the answer, we would have fixed this shit by now. So we're still working on that. But it does bring warmth to my cold, oversized heart to see the amount of love and outpouring that has come in Angel's direction post that press conference, particularly from black women, starting with their teammate Flajay Johnson literally wiping the tears off her face as this press conference is happening. That's a real one right there. Shout out Flajay. To the Jamel Hills throwing verbal haymakers to everyone who even came in her direction. And Jamel Hill is intimately familiar with the level of vitriol that Angel deals with. You should see Jamel Hill's mentions and comments on a day. It's literally a Klan rally every time she opens her mouth. To the incredible halftime, pregame, postgame show of Elle Duncan, Shanae Agumake, and Andrea Carter also lifting her up in support. This is why representation in media is so important, because if we were dealing with a largely white male media who doesn't have to deal with shit like that and on some level can identify more with the opposition than they do with her, this would not be happening. And there's so many more names that I would be spending the rest of this podcast trying to mention. So to all of you, God bless you. And quite honestly, thank you, because that moment was beautiful to me and halfway restored my faith in humanity. Halfway. So I do hope there is some solace of peace that could be found in that outpouring of love. And somehow, some way, it can outweigh these fucking incel losers that exist to do nothing but disturb the peace of people that are better than them.